In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Canva to create low content books for Amazon KDP. So this is going to be great for those of you out there who are total beginners. Welcome to my channel. My name is Caroline and I make videos to help you make money online so that you can build a life you love. If you haven't heard of Canva, it is a web-based design and publishing platform that allows you to create basically anything in terms of graphic design or publishing, documents, digital products, plus a whole heap of other stuff as well. Basically, what Canva has done is taken all the different parts, basically everything that a graphic designer or an illustrator even would use to create digital elements, and they've packaged it all in the one place, and you can access everything within the one platform. Let me explain a little bit more what I mean about that. So a graphic designer would usually have some sort of graphic design program such as Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. They would then need somewhere to get stock images from if they're going to be using them in their designs, a stock image website that you can purchase images from. And then in terms of specifically creating low content books or ebooks or any sort of documents that form a book of some kind, they would need some sort of program to create the interior of that book or that document. So maybe something like InDesign, Adobe InDesign, or maybe Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. And all these platforms have their own costs associated with them. I personally have Adobe Photoshop, and in Australia it costs me around $15 per month. To subscribe to a stock image website where you get really high quality images to use, something like iStock Photo, that tends to cost around about $30 per month for their basic package, which has a tiny amount of photos or images that you can download per month. The basic package only allows you to download 10 images per month with iStock Photo, so that is not many at all, especially in low content book publishing when you be creating quite a few books normally. Then to get access to Adobe Illustrator, that costs around $30 per month. Or if you wanted to use Microsoft programs like Word or PowerPoint, that would generally cost around $13 per month. So at this point, you're looking at around $50 to $75 minimum to access all those programs that someone would usually use to create book interiors, book covers, and just doing graphic design sort of things. So when we compare this with Canva, well, you can actually start using Canva for free. And I don't mean that Canva offers a free trial or anything like that. You can use and get access to Canva for free, and you can stay on the free plan forever if that's what you want to do. There are free elements within Canva, so free graphic design elements, free stock images, free fonts, things like that. And it's a great place to start if you are just getting started with graphic design or creating low content books. And even if you did want to join the Canva Pro side of their membership, it's only around $14 per month in US dollars. Personally, I can only see the price in Australian dollars because that's where I'm from. And in Australia, Canva Pro is $18 per month. So when compared to getting all those other graphic design programs separately, it really is a much more cost-effective way, and you only have one program to learn instead of 3 or 4. Now, in saying that, Canva isn't a professional graphic design platform. If you are wanting to get much more involved, much more intricate, much more detailed with your graphic design, you may need certain tools which are only available in those professional graphic design programs. But for beginners, Canva is completely fine and will be more than enough for you to create the kind of books you will be creating when you first start out. Now, before I get into my Canva account and show you around, I just want to give my thoughts on whether you'll get away with just having a free account forever or whether you'll need a pro account. To start with, when you are new, when you're a beginner, when you're learning, a free account is totally fine. A free account is also fine if you are just creating really basic books, really simple, maybe very minimalistic type of books, and also really sort of simple covers, or if you are creating maybe just plain text-based designs on your covers. If you do want to up your design game and you want to create much more high quality books, or maybe just really more intricate designs on your covers, or your interiors are going to be getting a little bit more involved and complicated, then I really think you are going to need a pro account. I'll go over the differences between the two, between the free and the pro account in just a moment, but just based on my experiences, I tried to get away with a Canva free account for quite a while, but I just found that the options are too limited in the free account. And I'm talking about being able to create high quality books that are going to compete with all those other books on Amazon, some that are professionally designed, some that are created by professional graphic designers or illustrators. And at first, when you do get into your Canva account and you've got the free account, you can still see every image that's available in Canva, but flicking through, you'll notice that some are free and some are pro. And I feel like when you're looking through the images, all you see is pro, and don't often see the free images because there's just so many more in the pro version. So let's first of all look at the different accounts that are available, and we'll compare what you get in the free account as opposed to the pro account. Okay, so when you first get to the Canva website, this is what you will see. And let's first of all take a look at the different plans and what you will get different in the free plan as opposed to the pro account. We'll just be assuming that this is for individuals, you don't have a team or anything like that. So we're not going to worry about the enterprise or worry about changing any of this in terms of how many people you have on your team. We're just going to assume you only need to have one person access this account. We can see here we've got the free account. Now this isn't a limited in terms of how long you can have a free account. You can have a free account forever if you want to. And this one here is the pro account. Personally, I prefer paying things monthly, but you do have the option to pay yearly if you go for the pro account, and you will get a cheaper price if you pay for the year. And these prices are in Australian dollars because I am based in Australia. So under the free account, you get access to over 250,000 free templates, 100 plus design types. So that's social media posts, presentations, letters, etc. You get access to hundreds of thousands of free photos and graphics. You can invite members to your team, and you get 5 gig of cloud storage. Those last 3 I don't think will be relevant to the majority of us. So at this point, we're just looking at what you get access to. With the pro account, you get access to 100 plus million premium stock photos, videos, audio, and graphics. You get access to over 610,000 premium and the free templates. Another important one personally that I think is important is being able to remove the image backgrounds with a background remover tool. So this is something, say you do want to use an image, but it has a background on it. So if you put it onto your page, an image, for example, with a big white background behind it, and you might not want that. I think having a background remover is quite important with graphic design. You don't get that as part of the free account. Magic Resize is also another important tool I think to have that you only get under pro and not under the free account. And something extra that you get, which might be helpful for a lot of people, is that you can schedule social media content to some platforms. So that would be really helpful if you are trying to build a brand and you're trying to promote that brand off of Amazon. So on social media, Instagram, Facebook, things like that, that could come in really handy as well. So those are the main things that are different: the amount of images, videos, audio that you get access to, the different templates you get access to, the background remover, and the Magic Resize. Looking at the free account, it might seem like you're getting a lot because you are getting access to what they say is hundreds and thousands of free photos and graphics. But the reality is, when you go in and look at them, you'll probably start to see that the free graphics and images are just not as high quality and as good of a selection as what you get under pro. But that's just to give you an idea of the difference between the two and what you are getting for your money if you do decide to go for the pro account. Okay, now let's get into Canva and I will show you how you can learn how to use Canva. Okay, so here we are in my account. I do a for the Canva pro account. So if you have the free account and some things look slightly different, or it looks like I've got access to different things, that's because I have the pro account. But for the most part, everything should look exactly the same regardless of whether you have the free account or the pro account. Basically, this is the dashboard where you land when you log in. Canva isn't just sort of a graphic design platform. This will be really handy if you do other stuff or you want to have access to other things other than just creating custom documents. They have thousands upon thousands, as they said, of templates that you can use for various things. So if you are creating social media, you can create, or they have templates for social media, Instagram, Facebook posts, stories. If you need to do marketing, they've got marketing templates that you can use. If you are looking at creating video for anything, this is a new feature, their video feature, but now we can create and edit videos within Canva. You can create presentations if that is something that you need to create as well. So in addition to creating custom documents, they do have a lot of templates that you can use for a whole range of different things. So if we just hover on this templates menu at the top, you'll see some of the different templates they do. So like I say, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. If you need to be creating invitations or resumes, postcards, things like that, you've got access to that too. Lots of different business templates if you need them, marketing templates, education, and they're just some things that are popular at the moment. So you can create menus, photo books, itinerary planners. There's a whole heap of stuff here that you can use. And they also have lots of educational material too. If you do need any education or need to learn anything in particular about graphic design, designing with Canva, creating documents with Canva, that sort of thing. So if you are going to be using any of their templates, you just go through, choose the template that you are wanting to make. So let's say that you do want to create a social media post of some kind and you want to use a pre-made template from Canva. You just click on what it is that you're looking for, what type of social media post or what type of template you're looking for. And as you can see, they have a bunch of designs already pre-made and you would just edit them to whatever it is that you need to have on there. So there's this way of creating something by going through their templates. And then if you want to create a custom design, such as a low content book, which is probably what we are doing because that's what we're all here for, creating low content books, then you would create a design and you would create a custom sized design. For an example for this video, I'm going to create a coloring book. When I do these tutorial type of videos, I normally just make something really simple and basic like a notebook or a journal, basically a page with lines on it. But this time I thought I'd make something kind of a little more interesting. But let's just say that at this point you would have already created or downloaded or purchased or whatever you do, you would already have your coloring book images for your pages ready. So at this point, let's just pretend that I have already got 50 unique coloring images to create my pages. Now, I've only got 3 that I found on my computer, so I'm just going to use the same 3 over and over. So just ignore the fact that they're all the same. We'll pretend that they're all different. First of all, we will create the interior of the book. So that's the coloring pages. I am going to make my coloring book 8.5 by 11 inches, and I'm going to add bleed to those pages because sometimes I like the coloring images to go off the page or to go right to the edge of the page. That means we need to include bleed, which just means that there is no white border around the pages, and we just need to account for that in the sizing when we create our books or our canvas. And to do that, we just go to the KDP website. All the information you ever need to create anything in KDP is on the website. And if we just scroll down here, we can get the page size with and without bleed. So if I were to make an 8.5 by 11, that's the size of it, 8.5 by 11. But if I want to include bleed on my pages, I need to increase the page size to this. So it needs to be 8.625. So we change this to inches and we want it to be 8.625 by 11.25. And then we create a new design. And this is the size of our interior page that we put our coloring images on. Now, before I get into making the actual book, I'm just going to run through the different parts of this design area of the platform. Templates are just that. So if you're looking to use a template on a custom sized canvas, you can still use all their templates if you don't want to create something from scratch. Then we have elements. So this is where we have access to the images, the graphics, videos, audio, shapes, things like that. So this is where we search for the different elements that we want to include in our design. Then we've got uploads. So this is where you can upload your own images. If you've got images that you've got from a stock website or from somewhere else that you've created, you can upload them into Canva and use them as part of your designs. Text is obviously that's where we find all our different fonts. They also have font combinations that have been sort of proven, I guess, to go well together, or if you just want some sort of filter of some kind on the text, this is where you can get that. Logos probably wouldn't really be relevant for us. And then we've just got other things like apps and integrations and access to different content and stuff like that. For the most part, we would be using elements, uploads, and text. So what I've done here is I've taken the coloring images that I had on my computer and I've basically come here to the upload tab and just dragged them and dropped them over here, and they've uploaded into my Canva account. For the sake of this video, for this tutorial, I've decided I'm going to create a mermaid coloring book for teens or for kids, maybe that pre-teen sort of age. Now, like I always like to say, I haven't done research. This is not niche research. I'm not saying that creating a mermaid coloring book is a good niche to get into. You need to research that yourself. That's just a topic that popped into my head because I had those images on my computer, and that's what I've decided to use just for the sake of doing this tutorial. So how do we create the interior? Basically, you take your coloring image, click on it, and it goes onto the page, and you just align it and spread it out to be whatever size that you want it to be on the page. To change the sizing of the image, you pull these little tabs here, and then we just try to align that image, or you align it wherever you want. I just want to align it to the middle. Now, if your image was cropped where your image is right in the middle, then an easy way to align your image is by using this position button. So if you click position middle, it will align your image in the middle from top to bottom, and if you click center, it will align your image in the middle of the page from left to right. My image is not cropped very correctly, so if I use those buttons, it's not going to align it correctly, so I'm just doing it myself by eye. But normally it would be good to have an image that is aspect ratio is correct. But basically that's that. So then the next page, we want to add in another page, and we want to add another coloring image. Again, we make it as big as we want to fit on the page, align middle, align center. Again, my cropping's a little bit off on this one, so I'll just move it myself. So that second page, then we just keep adding pages, and so you just add pages until your book is full. So this one I want on the side so I can make it bigger. So we take that little button down the bottom and we twist, and it tells you there, you can see the degree it will tell you, so you don't want it off. You can see it's not aligned straight, it's negative 95 degrees. You'll want it at 90 degrees, which means that it is nice and straight. And again, we just drag the image to fit. Although I said I was making this book with bleed for that images to bleed off the page, the ones that I ended up having are not ones that have bleed. But let's just say you did have an image that you wanted the coloring page to go right to the end and look like it has no margin. What you do is you just pull the image like that. So you see how all these lines now go right to the end of the page? That means that when your book prints, it will not have a white border, though it will print exactly like that. So if you have an image where you want to fill the whole page, just pull it so that the image goes off the edge of the page a little bit. Okay, so like I say, let's pretend I actually have 50 unique images. I've only got 3. You would basically just keep going, adding your images, your coloring images to each page until your book is full. I'm just going to duplicate. You can just duplicate if you have the same page over and over, but even just when you have different coloring images for every page, you can see how quick it was just to add an image to each page. It doesn't take long at all to add the image to the page and just resize it to fit. Now, something else you can do, and this is specifically for coloring books. So a lot of coloring books you will see have one image and then the back of the page has a black page. So what you would do is we would add a page, and then we just want to add a plain shape, a square. We drag it to fit the whole page, and then we change the color to black, and that is it. You can drag these in as well if you want to, and that is it. And so then you could just duplicate that page and then move it down below that one, and then you can duplicate that page and move it down one. Duplicate the page and move it down one. So you can do it after you've added all your coloring images, or you can add the coloring image, then the black page, then the coloring image, then the black page. So you need to keep that in mind for your page count of your book. So basically you would create your book. You now just need to download the file that is going to be ready for you to upload to your KDP account. So we just click download. You want to download them as a PDF, and you need a high quality print. So we choose PDF, print, do not add crop marks and bleed. You want to print all the pages, so all pages are selected, and you click download, and that will download your entire interior, and that is your interior done, ready to go into your KDP account. So now we need to make a cover. To create the cover, we also need to go get all the cover dimensions and the cover template from, again, the KDP website. They've got this handy little calculator now where it will work out for you the dimensions and then give you the template that you can download. So we select our binding, which is going to be paperback. Interior is black and white paper, turning left to right. We'll do it in inches. And the trim, which is the interior size of the book, is 8.5 by 11, and we are doing a 100-page book. This has to be correct because the dimensions for book covers will be different depending on how many pages in the book. And then we can calculate the dimensions and it will give you the sizing and everything that you need there. For the full cover, which is this whole image, that's the sizing, 17.475 by 11.25. When you create your cover, it includes both the front, the spine, and the back cover. So you're not making a front cover and then a back cover and then a spine. You just do the whole thing in one document. We go back over to Canva. We're going to create a new design, which is going to be the size of the cover. Create new design. Then we can download the template here. And this gives us this sort of template where it shows us where we can and can't put images and text and things like that. And we need this image. So what I've done is I've just popped it into my uploads of my Canva account. This here is the canvas for the cover. We click this over here and we drag it to fit into our canvas. And now we can see the trim lines, where the barcode's going to go. So we know not to put anything here because it'll get covered by the barcode. We know not to put any text outside of this color because it'll get cut off. And KDP won't allow you to upload a book if you have text and things that go past the printing area. And so I'm just going to do this cover pretty quickly. So it's probably not going to be the best one that I've ever made. I just want to give you an idea of how to quickly make one and how to use the different elements and images and things, and just show you examples of what is available in the Canva elements area. So let's do a little search for mermaid. And if you don't want to use photography images, you can narrow down. So let's say we only want graphics, and when you hover over them, you can see the difference between free and pro. So anything that says free, if you've got the free account, you can use it. If you have the pro account, you can use the pro. If you have pro, you can use the free ones as well. So you can just go through, and depending on what account you've got, pick whatever images it is that you want to use. You just click on it and it will automatically put it on your page. You can move it around, you can adjust the sizing, whatever it is you want to do with it. Now, a lot of people have questions about the licensing on Canva. I would suggest that you read the licenses, make yourself familiar with the licenses and what you can and can't use them for. In general, don't take my word for this, always check the licenses. But in general, when you're using stock images, you can use the image as long as it is not the main feature of the document, the book, whatever it is that you're making, and you need to adjust it in some way. So that would be like similar to what I'm about to do now. So let's say I wanted to use this as the front cover. Let's say we want to copy and paste it, so I've got one on the back as well. You can keep searching and looking for whatever you want. There's thousands of images that you can use. I'm just going to move this one out of the way so I can make sure that this particular image fits onto the page okay. I'm going to move that back. I think what I might do is turn down the transparency. So the transparency is whether this image looks solid or see-through. So you can always do it something sort of like a lighter type of a design. So let's say we do 30, and I would want to do the same on this one, or you could even leave that one bright. You don't have to do it exactly the same. And then I might do some bubbles because bubbles are kind of ocean-like. Now you can adjust the position of things, so you can send one image behind the other or one in front, that sort of thing. So I've got a few bubbles there. I'm not sure I really like those scales at the back there, so I'm just going to put a solid color and see if I like a solid color better. So I want to send it backwards, so it's behind the images. I think I prefer the solid color better. And now if you want to change the color of things, we click this color up here and you can select from default colors here. Or if you want to have a custom color, we click this little plus sign or this add sign, and you can select from the whole scale of different colors. Or you can click this little eyedropper tool, and what this does is it hovers over your image and you can select a color from your image. So let's say I wanted to match it to sort of the background to this pink, or maybe we want to do blue, or maybe the purple. So the light purple is quite nice. I'm not going to mess around with this too much, but let's just copy that purple background so it's the same over here. And now let's say we want to add the text for our title of our book. Just going to add a heading. Now what you can do here as well is move that background, delete this one, just to make sure it's centered on the page. You'll see these little guidelines that pop up, all these little bright pink lines that help you align things on the page. And then I'm going to pull this back up. And then from here, if we want to change the font and things like that, we can click this little button up here, and we've got thousands and thousands of fonts to sort through. I'm just going to choose one from the top because it will take a really long time to sit and go through every font to try and pick one. I'm just going to pick this Bobby Jones, and then let's say we want to change the color. We click this little A up here, and again it's the same format. We can select the default color that's down here, or again we can use this eyedropper tool and try and match in with our image. And then to make it stand out even more, we can always go back and look at some lines and shapes and put a background behind it maybe. I don't like that brown, so let's change the brown. Going to make it a little bit smaller, and then we want to add another heading. If you want to, there is also effect. So if you wanted to have just an outline of text, we can do that. Splice, which has a solid color slightly offset from the stroke, which is the black line around the text. You can do an echo. If we did it like this, you can adjust the thickness of the lines and stuff like that. And you can also curve the text if you want to have curved text. So that's quite a new feature in Canva, being able to do curved text. When you're doing this, it seems like it's a quick process when you watch a video, a tutorial, because we're trying to fit everything into 10, 15, 20-minute video. But in reality, creating a cover or a design can sometimes take hours, even a couple days sometimes, just getting it to look the way that you want it to look, the way that it looks in your head, the way that it needs to look to compete with all the other brands on there. So this is by far not a complete design for me. I take quite a while making designs, but I just want to show you the different elements, how to use them, how you can get them onto your document and things like that. So I'm just going to add another little heading here that's going to say for teens. And for this one, I might do more of a script type of font. But that's basically just how you mess around with the fonts. You can have different fonts. You don't have to have everything all the same. Try not to use too many fonts because then it can get a little bit too messy and kind of like hurts the eyes a little bit sometimes. So I wouldn't use more than 3 different fonts. Play around and see what works. I mean, that's not a hard and fast rule. Just play around with it. But a lot of the time, simple is better. And then on the back cover, what a lot of coloring books do these days as well is maybe put a few images of the coloring pages that are within your book. Select a few of the best ones and put them on the back. Pop a little blurb in there about your brand or your company or whatever if you want. And then once you have finished designing, you also need to download this as a PDF print, high quality again, and we click download, and then that is your 2 files, your cover file and your interior file, ready to upload to KDP. And so that is how easy it is to create a book in Canva. And while I do think you can get away with using the free account, like I say, when you're beginning, when you're learning, or when you're creating quite simple kinds of designs, I really do think that you need to upgrade to the Pro membership at some point, because it really will benefit you having the Pro version. I know that when I was using the free version of Canva, I would just get so frustrated because every image that I wanted to use in my designs was always the Pro. I just feel like the Pro images are so much better than the free images that you get access to, and I just couldn't make my books and my designs look the way I wanted using only the free elements. But if you haven't used Canva at all yet, give the free version a go and you might find that that is sufficient for you. It really all depends on the kinds of books that you want to make. I hope you have learned something from this video, and if you do like these types of tutorial videos and want me to make more like this, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.